After watching the video on the aging parolees and researching my state, which is Alabama, I really like the programs that they have set up. So Alabama, they handle things before the inmates are released. They have a dedicated reentry team who works on, before you're released, you take your programming of basic life skills, and then when you're being released, they make sure you have immediate access to food and clothing and shelter. They help you obtain your driver's license or other ID that is needed. They get you set up on medical and dental care, so you don't have to worry about that. They have multiple programs outside of the prison for obtaining employment, shelter. They just really have it set up so that it seems that the inmates are not having to, once released, the offenders aren't having to kind of struggle to figure out where things are. And that was one thing I really liked about this video we watched, was the transition and the different housing available. I think one of the biggest issues, and this is something that I'm very interested in, is that when someone is released to prison, from prison, they are checking in with their parole officers. And yes, there are in the state of Utah, the different areas, community areas that you learn to go for shelter and things like that. But I have found that one of the biggest issues that parolees have is they get so frustrated. It is so overwhelming. Just like the video said, you've been taken care of for so long, being told what to do, when you can do things, that you forget how to do things yourself. And so when they are having to figure out transportation, how to get a job, how to work at that job, get there every day, but also then be able to check in at APMP, or get on time to do their drug testing, or where do they go for clothing and things like that. And yes, there is PATR that is help set up, but you have to set up appointments with them. It's not immediate. You have to wait and get your certificate so you can go to the facilities to get your clothing. And I just think it would be so much more helpful to have that immediate access to things, so that they're not feeling alone, but also they're like, you know what, positive things are happening. If I keep going in the positive direction, instead of just coming out and feeling like they're hitting roadblocks right away, then I think there's a better chance of being successful. When they hit those roadblocks and they kind of just want to give up when there's multiple roadblocks, and be like, you know what, this is just too hard. I tried to do good and this just keeps happening to me, and they just give up. I don't think that they should be in prison longer just because of their age. But I think when you're older, I think maybe extra assistance to figure out how things are done. And I think that transitional housing in the video is a perfect setup for it.